Hi, good evening, everyone. So, very warm welcome to everyone. I've actually just got here this afternoon, and I must share a quick little anecdote. So, I was checking in, and this guy starts walking me to my room, and all the signage actually keeps saying gym. So, I kept looking at him. I said, "Listen, I've just checked in. I understand I was wearing track pants and a tee." I said, "But I don't work out here. I want to actually use the room." He goes, "No, we've given you a room right next to the gym." So I guess that kind of explains the mindset that the person has to understand that someone who's in the business where you're sort of more known for your external than for your internal being. Obviously, one cannot interact with so many people. Fitness is something that comes right up front because that's something that you see. And ever since I met with Mr. Khan, who's obviously, I'm pretty sure most of you know about him, who's very, I would say, entrepreneurial or aggressive in his approach. We sort of hit it off on various different levels. And one of the key things that I could bring to the table to him was to sort of spread the very idea of fitness and wellness, so to speak, in all different facets, but sort of take it far deeper than how we perceive it. So most people, when you actually travel around the country, so I've done a couple of films, I've traveled a lot as an assistant director, and I remember traveling to really different parts of this country, be it interiors of Rajasthan into places like Falodi, and there's small villages, and you'd see these small little gyms, which we also call akhadas, or, what we actually don't even call a gym, we just call some random equipment lying there. And you'll see all these pictures of all, from Salman Khan to, Sanjay Dutt to Sunny Deol to Govinda, you'll be surprised. So we've sort of seen them all. And you sort of realize that there is this sense of idealism somewhere, a person who's in the public eye has the power to sort of push that message. But, it's not structured, so to speak. It's something that's just sporadic, something that's just coming out. Is what I think myself and Kashif wanted to bring to the table was sort of structure this entire system, sort of, use the strength of people who are in the business. Well, I'm a very small part of the fraternity. Bring as much muscle power as we can, with obvious pun intended there. Sort of bring them all together and see how we can actually take this further down and actually structure the fitness. Obviously, this fitness industry is already growing. The wellness industry is growing. It's we've got all these multinational companies in here. We've got the big labels of the world coming in. But still, there's so much more to grow. So much more. India is a very large country. We all know that. And I think today is a nice day to say that it's the Aam Aadmi's country, or I don't know if that works. So I think about 95% of you agree here. So I guess that was a basic idea. One travels the world for the job that we do, and fitness and wellness, I would say health in general, is almost a part and parcel of Western culture. They think that they for them a morning jog before a 9 a.m. job is not like, oh, I need to go for a jog. It's almost like that's what I'm supposed to do. It's equivalent to actually getting up and, sitting down, reading a newspaper, having a cup of tea, losing some weight, and then having a shower, and then getting to work. For them, running, be it in the morning, be it in the evening, playing a sport, taking care of what they eat, to have the basic sensibility of knowing, we talk about high carb diet, low carb diet and stuff. These guys know it. So when you talk to the common person, he has so much information. And unfortunately for us, it's really pocketed to a very small segment of people who understand fitness, who probably read about it, who are enthusiasts, and that's it. It stops right there. So I guess the idea was to sort of bring that to the table. So, be it through books, be it through infographics, be it through whatever we can, be it through the kind of gyms and studios that myself and Kashif were planning to do, to sort of target, but also at the same time educate while actually training them. And bringing forth some new training devices, some new equipment, some new techniques, some new parallels of training, whether it's personal training. So I'm obviously a gym enthusiast myself. One thing I've done consciously is never had a gym at home. Not that I could afford one, but even if I could, I'd never have a gym at home, because I think it's something that's so easily accessible. It just becomes like, chalo yaar, aadhe ghante baat kar lunga, 15 minute baat kar lunga. Chalo, okay, I'll do it after this lunch, or okay, I'll do it in the evening. And then you sort of tend to take it, I think when you shell out the dollar from your pocket, you actually put it out there, it pinches you, and that kind of drives you to get up there and say, okay, I've paid this personal trainer X amount of money, and now I need to get there. So, I think there were so many things that I've done over the years donated so much money to, I think, quite a few people sitting here who must be owning different chains. Over the years, I must have paid and never really gone, Obviously, those are times when I was far bigger. I mean, where I could give Kashif a run for his money. Well, so I think the idea was, obviously you've changed my voice suddenly. So the idea was to sort of, I would say, to bring all of this together. I mean, right now it's so many different thoughts, so many different, facets to this world, which, through the experiences that I've had, whether it was studying overseas, whether working overseas, whether working in different parts of India, and whether it was interacting with my large Punjabi family. And, there was a brand me and Kashi were working on, which was focused primarily on women. And, the research over and above what you put your people at work and, we have our teams, was also one-on-one. And I have this phenomenally large Punjabi family. We have close to 20 odd cousin sisters and now their siblings and so on and so forth. And I actually made a call to each one of them and actually understood from them. And it was amazing. There was this common denominator across all, which came across of how women still feel a little conscious going to the gym, still feel like it's not made for them. And that kind of started this thought in my head, which, then me and Kashif kind of formed into this very concrete idea of bringing forth fitness for women. That was one of the many things that we were working on. Just praise you a bit much. Maybe you should speak a few words now. Yeah. So yeah, I guess this is it. And please say a few words. You have a mic for yourself.
So as you said rightly, like we thought, there's a big vacuum for. Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we thought when we told each other like there's a big vacuum for all women-centric gym, and we started working towards it. I think the man's body and a female's body is two totally different anatomy, and every muscle part, every body part is a different stress, is a different way to work and treat on. So we came up with this idea: all female gyms, all female center, where only females are driven, and it is by, for, and of the women. So I think we'll see how does that go. And we're working on other fitness aspects, and with due course of time, we shall keep you posted on how we are coming and faring on that.
So the all-female thing is something that, from, it's almost, as he said, it's almost 360. It's something that we look at from the fitness perspective, from the diet perspective, from the wellness perspective. So there's a spa, there's a salon, there are books. So it's almost 360. Taking care of everything. Pretty much every person working in the gym is a woman. Pretty much everything we're trying to outsource is from individual groups of women, however big or small they may be. So it's an all-women franchise, barring myself and Kashif being the two men there, for reasons best known to us.
Get it there sometimes.
Yeah. So I guess that's one of the key things we are working on.